Last time we checked in on the World Cup qualifying, we were looking at North America, including this tidy finish from Hot of Barbados. This time, it's back to Asia for the second round, or part one at least, and we begin with Group F. Thailand and Vietnam began the group stage 3 weeks earlier as it coincided with the Southeast Asian Games at the Rajamangala National Stadium in Bangkok. That was the only goal of the game by Poclaw in the 80th minute, leaving Thailand 1-0 winners. That was in for Group F due to Indonesia's removal, so we moved to Group D and Guam vs Turkmenistan, which took place at the Guam National Football Stadium in Hagatna. This 14th minute own goal by Anorazao was the only goal of the game, with giving Guam a 1-0 victory over Turkmenistan. Elsewhere in Group D, India took on Oman at the Sri Kantirava Stadium in Bengaluru. And finally a video that gives me a chance to explain things. Oman took a 1-minute lead through Saeed before Chetri equalised for India in the 26th minute. Oman would get themselves a penalty in the 40th minute due to this, and it would be converted by Al-Hosni. Final score, India 1, Oman 2. Moving on to Group E now, and we're at the Olympic Stadium in Phnom Penh for Cambodia v Singapore. Singapore opened the scoring in the 9th minute through Kyrgyzstan. Singapore doubled their lead in the 21st minute when this cheeky little back heel here led to an absolute screamer from Zafawan. It was 3-0 to Singapore not long after in the 35th minute when Zafawan headed in his second. The rout was completed in the 55th minute when Fazrul popped up to nail this one, leaving the final score at 4-0 to Singapore. But it wasn't the biggest score in Group E. That distinction fell to Afghanistan v Syria, which took place at the Salman Stadium in Mashhad, Iran, due to security concerns. Rafe opened the scoring for Syria in the 19th minute with that header. He'd then gain his and Syria's second 16 minutes later in the 35th minute, with a little help from the Afghan goalkeeper. 2-0 soon became 3-0 in the 42nd minute with this wonder goal from Ajan. In the second half, Syria continued their relentless pursuit, but had to wait until the 70th minute to make it 4-0 through Al Hussein. And even though they were made to wait for the fourth goal, they didn't have to wait too much longer for the fifth, as Malki scored in the 75th minute. In second half injury time, the Afghanistan defence conceded a penalty, which gave Syria a chance to make it a perfect 6, and it was scored by Kribin. Final score 6-0 to Syria. Group B now, and it's a very quick video as Bangladesh took on Kyrgyzstan at the Bangla Bandhu National Stadium in Dhaka. Kyrgyzstan took the lead in the 8th minute through Zemlia Nilkhin, before Bernhardt scored a penalty in the 29th minute to make it 2-0. Bangladesh equalised when Kichin scored an own goal in the 32nd minute, before Zemlia Nilkhin added his second in the 41st. Now, Tajikistan v Jordan, also in Group B. And this one took place at the Pamir Stadium in Dushanbe. The scoring was opened by Abdel Fattah in the 29th minute. He then got his second with this absolute blinder in the 63rd minute. Tajikistan got back into the game in the 66th minute through this goal from Zalilov. The commentators were obviously happy with that one. Unfortunately, with 2 minutes to spare, Abdel Fattah completed the scoring and his hat-trick to make it 3-1 to Jordan. Apparently, the Philippines is more known for basketball, so let's see how their football team fares against Bahrain at the Philippine Sports Stadium in Bacau. And the Philippines took the lead in the 50th minute through Bahadoran. As the Filipino fans did the Poznan, they were about to go into delirium as in the 60th minute, Patino made it 2-0. Bahrain were able to get a consolation goal in the 3rd minute of injury time after this well-worked passing move through Al-Malou. Unfortunately for them, it still finished 2-1 to the Philippines. That match was in Group F. Also in Group F, Yemen took on North Korea at the Suhail bin Hamad Stadium in Doha, Qatar, due to security concerns as with the first round. The match was won by North Korea thanks to that 71st minute goal by So Hyun-ok. Unfortunately, we can't get all the goals all the time, and that's the case for this Group G game between Laos and Myanmar at the new Laos National Stadium in Vientiane. Myanmar had taken a 41st minute lead through Zaw Min Tun before this penalty equalised by Zaya Futi in the 81st minute. There was also 2 more goals, one more for Zaya Futi and Kyo Zaya Win to make it 2-2 in the 83rd and 85th minute respectively. Now, also in Group G, Lebanon took on Kuwait at the Saida International Stadium in Sidon, and the crowd had to wait until the 86th minute for a goal, as Kuwait won it with this goal from Nasser. 1-0 final score. And now time for the biggest scoring game of the round in Group C as Hong Kong took on the first round surprise package, Bhutan, at Hong Kong's Mong Kok Stadium. Hong Kong took the lead through McKee in the 18th minute. The score was 2-0 soon enough as Chris came in with a header in the 22nd minute. In the 29th minute, Lo Kuan Yi made it 3-0. It wasn't even half time when Hong Kong made it 4-0 through Zhu Yingxi in the 41st minute. In the second half, Hong Kong did not take their foot off the gas and won a penalty. Don't know how, but it was scored by Lam Ka Huai in the 48th minute. In the 56th minute, McKee nabbed his second and Hong Kong's sixth. And the final goal of the rout was put in the 67th minute through Godfred. The final score was Hong Kong 7, Bhutan 0. 2022 World Cup hosts Qatar opened their 2018 qualifying campaign with a visit to the Maldives, also in Group C at the National Football Stadium in Malé. And the game was heading to a 0-0 draw until the 9th minute of injury time when Maqsood hit that deflected shot to make it 1-0 to Qatar. Only Group A to go now, and we'll start with Malaysia v Timor-Leste at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium in Kuala Lumpur. And Malaysia opened the scoring in the 34th minute through Safi. And it stayed 1-0 to Malaysia until the 3rd minute of second half injury time when Saro made it 1-1. Now, despite that exciting end to the game, it wasn't the most exciting game in Group A, as Saudi Arabia took on Palestine at the Prince Mohammed bin Fahd Stadium in Dammam, and Saudi Arabia took a 6-minute lead through Al-Shari. They'd make it 2-0 in the 46th minute through Al-Salawi. But unfortunately for Saudi Arabia, it began to unravel 5 minutes later when Tamburini made it 2-1. The game headed into injury time, and that is when the comeback was on, as Jadu caught out the Saudi keeper and made it 2-2. Cue wild celebrations from the Palestine bench, as they thought they'd managed a 2-2 draw with Saudi Arabia. However, in the 4th minute of injury time, Al-Salawi managed to get another goal for Saudi Arabia, causing more wild celebrations, this time from the Saudi bench. Final score 3-2 to Saudi Arabia. And that's it for this round of Asian World Cup qualifying. Hopefully we'll be back soon with more from Asia and more from North America. Like and subscribe!